Hello.
Welcome back to Rakanjima. I stole your thunder.
I never get any thunder. Not when I want it.
There's no rain tonight either.
Yeah, exactly. So we just learned about the death of Beatrice and Rose's compliance in that.
And we're at the beginning of the ceremony. Are we going to go through, is there any gameplay stuff I need to know?
Gameplay as in...
Well, like, there's going to be lots of clues and stuff. Because this is where all the deaths start happening, isn't it?
There's going to be clues in places that you might not expect. Clues that we've already had, that you've probably missed, that I missed for sure when I first went through it. Well, second time I went through it actually, because I watched the anime originally, and then I went back and read it. But
How did you come across the anime?
it's a long story.
Okay, we'll save that for another day then. That was a big sigh.
Maybe at the end of this episode I'll get into it, and then we can discuss more about those things. I mean, I would like to hear your thoughts throughout, but at the same time, I don't want to pry too much, because some questions can be hints in themselves, so...
You're scared of giving away too much.
I want to know what you think, but I also want to get through at least the first 4 episodes before we get to that as well. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of 50-50 on whether or not we should get into it just yet.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes, and if I feel like we should bring it up, then I guess we will.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well then, how will this game be resolved? I've already forgotten how to play Kinza. You may submit, or you may resist. Either way, it will truly be an entertaining banquet, worth betting my short remaining life on. In his dimly lit study, occasionally brightened by lightning, Kinzo kept mumbling and laughing to himself. On the antique clock with the intricate design that had been sitting on his desk...
Oh my gosh, the cat! We've been... before recording, I've been like petrified of losing my toes, so the cat just jumped up from underneath the desk, trying to swipe my ear part at a time.
She didn't really jump, she kind of just slowly came up. I was watching her the whole
I
time.
didn't know she was there. You gotta give me a warning.
I thought you could see it.
No, I couldn't. All of a sudden, there was this like claws near my hand. Okay, sorry.
There'll be more attacks tonight, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure she's gone crazy out there.
She's in a very hyper mood.
Give her some catnip. Maybe that'll resolve
Oh,
her
that'll
out.
make it worse. On the antique clock with the intricate design that had been sitting on his desk, the 2 overlapping hands tilted to the right and began to slide. The measure of time that counted up to 24 had returned to 0 and had begun to count back again. Measuring time is a brutal thing. It drags itself all the way to 24 over the course of a day and then returns back to 0. It certainly did count to 23:59. However, is it ever able to reach 24? If you conclude that it returns to 0 again without reaching 24, how futile it must all be. But perhaps a person's life is the same. You live aiming for a perfect 24, and in that instant you reach it, you return to 0. People will probably praise the departed, saying that he did reach 24, but he most certainly did not. In the end, he's a 0. I am different. I will live and reach 24. That itself is the Golden Land. For that is where Beatrice dwells. Kinzo had been fumbling around with some tarot cards for some time. It looked as though he was trying to divine his own luck with the contest, doing it over every time he didn't like the result. Sounds about right.
The most forbidden action in tarot reading is trying to predict the same thing twice. To do so ridicules the results of fortune telling, and also desecrates those beings higher than humans that give revelations through the tarot cards. However, Kinzo knew tarot cards shouldn't be used twice because, since they're nothing more than a random number generator, reading them twice will naturally cause a different result to appear. Therefore, reading them twice was only forbidden to preserve the mystique of the tarot card's results. However, that didn't mean that Kinzo didn't take tarot reading seriously. Kinzo's interpretation of tarot reading was done in a completely different way. That was to repeat the reading over and over, without giving up in the slightest, until he reached the result most favourable for him. The mark he set for this most favourable result would vary, but when he demanded the most favourable result in a strictly literal sense, it was the same as a simple roulette of luck, where he sought an arithmetic miracle. However, Kinzo used miracles of numbers as the basis of his magical power, so this functioned perfectly well as a magical ritual. In other words, until the result he desired appeared perfectly, he would strive to repeat the tarot readings over and over with conviction, turning the feelings of his heart into prayers, so that when they reached the heavens, they would be sublimated into results. This was Kinzo's personal magical interpretation. Therefore, even though Kinzo's tarot cards were no different from those generally used, the way in which they were used was completely different.
Tonight will not go as I thought.
Kinzo stopped his hands for a second. He seemed not to be getting the results he wanted. On the contrary, bad cards that shouldn't show up so often appeared repeatedly, and continued to interfere with the miracle Kinzo wished for.
Is that how it is?
Kinzo seemed to have received some revelation that was different from normal, but judging by the unlucky cards scattered across his desk, it was difficult to imagine that the omen had been a good one. For a while, Kinzo closed his eyes tightly, pondering something. Then, as the thunder roared, he made up his mind about something, took the telephone receiver and dialed.
It is I. Is Genji there? An urgent matter has come up.
In front of the entrance hall, Shannon's once-burning face had been cooled off by the frigid air. She had thought that George's proposal would surely come sooner or later. It wasn't as though she hadn't prepared herself mentally, and she had answered by nodding. Had she been reckless because of her youth? Should she have thought about her future more seriously?
I wonder if my immediate reply made him think I'm a cheap girl. If I'd at least waited until tomorrow morning, would that at least have shown him I was taking this seriously?
Now that she'd already received the ring from George, Shannon kept fidgeting in embarrassment. I should have done this, I should have done that. As she did, she heard the sound of footsteps splashing through puddles. Shannon immediately chased away the emotions welling up inside her.
Genji-sama? And Kanan-kun too. I'm sorry, I have to go back soon.
She grew stiff, thinking she'd surely be scolded for spending too much time in her secret lovers' meeting with George. Shannon, the master told us to come to the study, saying it was urgent. Let us hurry.
Huh? Yes, certainly. What in the world?
Is this me or you? We actually haven't a canon yet, have we?
I think I'm doing canon. He said he had a premonition of misfortune. How convenient for him, considering he's the one who started this ceremony.
I hate you. We will enter from the back, so that Goda doesn't notice us. Hide your footsteps.
Yes. Nei-san, take care. You're so noisy.
Cannon was especially good at hiding his footsteps. Just like a cat, he was able to suddenly be there without anyone noticing and leave in the same way. For example, even though he'd stepped in puddles, the sound he made was far smaller than that of rain hitting them. Genji also had abilities of that kind, or rather, those servants called furniture were supposed to be like that. Just like how desks and closets go unnoticed by members of the family, these servants also held it as a great virtue to just suddenly be there whenever they were needed. Compared to that, Shannon's footsteps still strongly asserted themselves. She was also trying to hide her footsteps, but compared to Kanon and Genji, well, you could say she was a little more boisterous. Eventually, they reached the back door, and the three of them entered the mansion. Immediately, they thought they felt something. It was different from a sense of smell, and it seemed to hit the depths of their noses. This hard-to-describe sensation, which you might call a sixth sense, allowed them to perceive that something was different from usual.
Genji-sama.
Indeed. Let us hurry. That sensation made it feel as though a tense something was pressing in around them. Realizing that, the three of them dashed up the stairs, heading for Kinzo's study while still hiding their footsteps. Ninja butlers. When they dashed up the stairs, that smell of sweet poison peculiar to Kinzo's study reached their noses.
What is it, Genji-sama? The barrier is dead. Huh? Sorry, that took a little bit.
I think that was... I don't know, I just saw Shannon move, so... After hearing Kanon's words, she looked at the door to the study. A scorpion pattern was engraved on the doorknob. A powerful ward against magic. The final barrier which protected Kinzo himself. It had been broken. Of course, there was no change to the doorknob that they could see, that the eye could see. However, those who could understand things people couldn't perceive were able to recognize that a dramatic change had occurred. Master! Master! It is Genji. Please open the door. Genji called in this way, after knocking several times, but there was no answer from the study.
It's like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. Master!
Master! Master! Shannon, guard our backs. What?
Get Captain to do the back guarding.
Cannon, search inside the room.
Ah. So he's got the junior at the back, the junior female guiding the back, sends in the junior.
He knows what he's doing. He's the head
He's just
butler.
like my minion.
He's the most trusted butler for Kinzo. Cannon put his ear against the door, searching for a presence inside the study. To protect the backs of the pair watching the door, Shannon faced the other way, ready for the unexpected.
I'm trying not to be Australian, but it's coming out very Australian. I'm not mentally prepared. Alright.
Is that what he looks like to you?
No, I
Arrogant?
panicked and that's the voice that came out. That was what I was going for. It's because I'm trying to sound like a boy.
Well, he's a young boy, so I think
The master must be here.
not that young. He would have like a higher pitched voice compared to like a...
Surely he's gone through puberty if he's like...
He's going through puberty. He's like...
So I need to do voice cracks?
I
The
don't know.
master must
He's
be
like
here.
I assume he's 6... Wait, come on. Let's see if it's in... I think he's 16. That's what I assumed.
Well, he's definitely been through puberty then.
Yeah, I'm still going there. I think he would be around Jessica's age, so 16 to 18, I think.
Alright, let's see what I can do. The master must be in here. But it's too quiet, I'm still Australian.
It's better. Do you mean to say he's safe?
No. It's too quiet.
Dun, dun, dun.
Could it possibly be?
Master, excuse us about the door. Genji pulled a gold key out of his pocket. It was the only key to the study that existed, other than the one Kinzo held. He stuck it in the keyhole and turned it heavily. At first glance, that seemed to prove that it was a sturdy lock. However, now that the barrier had been destroyed, this door might as well have been left open, from the viewpoint of anyone with magical power. The heavy sound just now meant that the door had now been opened, even for humans. Excuse me. Shitsureshimasu. As Genji respectfully bowed his head, and Kanon's sense of tension grew tighter, and Shannon trembled, they entered the study. They immediately discovered Kinzo's figure. He was sitting on the reception sofa so that his back faced them. Genji noticed the person sitting across from him and again bowed deeply. Kanon also noticed that person, but he didn't bow his head. He stood in front of Shannon and spread out his arms, blocking the way to her. So without even seeing that person's face, Shannon already had a good idea of who it was. So, you have come, Beatrice-sama.
Genji, is it? You came very quickly. Yes, it is always best when furniture answers to their master's call quickly. Unlike this person.
So, Ronove-sama has come as well. Genji directed his greeting towards the thin darkness behind and to the right of Beatrice, where there shouldn't have been anything. Even Kanon and Shannon would never have imagined that someone was there. However, the darkness responded immediately and praised Genji's eyesight.
As usual, you don't disappoint. It has been quite some time. Still, you've grown old, haven't you? Have so many years truly passed you by?
My days have been full and satisfying. It appears you have been living quite a full life yourself, Ronove-sama.
Yes, thank you. And Shannon, it has been a long time since I last saw you as well. You have grown quite beautiful. And it seems that you have grown quite strong. That is fortunate.
Thank you very much. Nei-san, who in the world?
This will be our first meeting, Kanon-kun. I, Ronove, have been entrusted with the position of Beatrice-sama's head furniture. I am an old friend of Genji-san's, and I am also furniture, just like you. Although the master I serve is different.
The tense colour didn't disappear from Kanon's face in the slightest. Depending on the master furniture served, they might be kind or brutal or anything else. If this person claimed to be furniture serving the hated Beatrice, then he must be despicable as well.
It seems I'm thoroughly despised. It's as though you hate everything that has anything to do with me.
Beatrice openly sneered at Kanon's hate-filled face. Then Kanon finally realized. Beatrice and Kinzo were having a chess game across the reception table, but Kinzo hadn't even quivered. He was holding his head with both hands, his eyes closed tight, as he contemplated his next move. Or was he in anguish?
Master? I have told Kinzo two things. There was good news and bad news. The good news is that he'll have the good fortune of being reunited with me before the ceremony ends. The bad news is that Kinzo has been selected as the very first sacrifice in the ceremony. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it, because it truly was decided by the fickle roulette. Liar! We know you're just a murderer who kills for fun. Stop it, Kanon-kun. So, Kinzo, isn't it about time you decided to accept your loss? With this, a long contest is at an end, yes?
At a glance, it was hard to make out the situation on that chaotic chessboard. However, judging by Kinzo's anguish and Beatrice's malicious confidence, it seemed to be over already.
It is unavoidable. Perhaps even this could be amusing.
It is to me too. Resolving my contest with you may bring a flood of emotions, but it has already surpassed love and hate. It was fun. These past few decades certainly weren't boring.
Beatrice advanced her queen and made her final move. And that decided it. Mate in 6.
Checkmate. This is my final tribute to you. Without any reservations, sleep.
Kinzo suddenly stood up and laughed, like an opera singer facing a full crowd and spreading his arms, as though he had succeeded in a century-long plan. That laugh spat crimson. Crimson flames poured out from inside him, spitting even out of his mouth, ears, and nose, and all at once, his body was wrapped in hellfire. But Kinzo kept laughing. The more he laughed, the more the hellfire spewed from his entire body and began to char him. Those flames became a brilliant light, which dazzlingly shone on the various magic tools throughout the room, making their distorted shadows dance across the walls. Those shadows looked like the dead in hell, watching over Kinzo in ecstasy as he burned. And for one who had made a contract with the witch, it was an extremely fitting end, in accordance with those terms. After laughing and howling in the roaring flames for some time, Kinzo flopped to the ground as though he was a puppet whose strings had been cut. Those incredible blazing flames disappeared as though he'd been completely burned up, and afterwards nothing remained but a festering and burnt corpse that one could hardly bear to look at.
Horrible. You should talk, as if you didn't think that was a fitting way for him to die. Why have you shown yourself? Do you have some business with us? Stop it, Naku. You mustn't provoke Beatrice Summer.
It would seem you have them absolutely terrified.
I imagine I'll never get along with Canon. Hey, it's not as though I dislike you particularly.
Beatrice grinned. Cannon violently averted his gaze, obviously unhappy. His reaction was so different from what he wanted to do that it made the witch and her butler laugh. Cannon, you stand in the presence of Beatrice Summer. Carefully consider your manner of speech.
Oh, I care not, Genji. Let him say what he pleases. I am gracious. How are you gracious? I am always gracious to those who are about to die.
Looks like you don't have to worry about his voice for much longer.
Oh, yes.
Cannon was taken aback by that creepy laughter. Beatrice wasn't here just to take Kinzo's life. The first twilight required 6 sacrifices. Kinzo alone wasn't nearly enough. And they just casually walked in there.
Fear not, Canon. It isn't as though you'll be selected as sacrifices just because you came here. After all, you were called here because you've been selected already. What?
Their instincts were good enough to spot her meaning instantly. 6 sacrifices were required for the first twilight. After Kinzo, how many more would you need to add up to 6? In this mansion, the number 5 instantly made them think of the number of servants here. Is that what you desire?
Indeed. Thank me, furniture. Tonight, your days of suffering will finally end. You ought to thank me for coming here to tell you this.
Certainly. If that is your desire.
Genji-sama?
Genji had agreed to the witch's heartless announcement with his usual demeanor, without raising an eyebrow. Now that the master is dead, Beatrice Summer is our master. Responding to her demands shall be our final duty. Shannon, Cannon, you have done well serving until today. That hard work is over now.
As I expected of you, Genji. As your fellow furniture, I'm proud to have known you.
Shannon, Do you have any objections?
No.
I heard that George Summer gave you a ring. Do you still say that you have no regrets?
Yes. That blessing was more than furniture deserves. Just receiving the ring has already satisfied my feelings.
Shannon couldn't take quite as much of a philosophical view as Genji. There probably were regrets left in her heart. She probably wanted to spend a little more warm time with the person she cared for, George. But she released herself from that. She took a single deep breath, and a blank expression rose to her face.
Very well.
I think it's maybe Beatrice.
Okay. It does surprise me a tad to find that you've gained such composure, Shannon. It seems you too have taken a philosophical view as of furniture.
Oh, I think it was... Yeah, it was...
Won't you at least shed some bitter tears for not being able to spend a night with the man you love? What a boring woman. This feeling cannot be understood by the likes of you, Beatrice Summer. If you desire our lives, please accept them. We will solemnly carry out that duty.
Very well. Excellently put.
Just the type of person Beatrice Summer can't handle.
She's been taking such a far-sighted view of things lately. I must have tormented her too much last time. Speaking of which, didn't I do the same to Battler? Am I still soft? Or is this the way I corner them lacking? Or is the way I'm corner them lacking? In any case, she's just no fun. However, it seems you will still entertain me, right? Cannon? Cannon-kun.
Compared to the two who had taken a far-sighted approach, there was a painful anguish on Cannon's face. Cannon was still far too young to accept his demise after being told of it by a suddenly appearing witch.
Cannon. I hate boredom more than anything, and the fact that the other two have obediently accepted their deaths isn't amusing at all, so I hope you don't betray my expectations. Are you trying to make me your plaything?
Cannon realized that he was being provoked. However, no matter how furiously anger spurred him on, his opponent was a witch. He was furniture. He hadn't had a chance of victory from the beginning, but the witch was expecting that he'd struggle in vain and writhe around, and was even looking forward to it. Just thinking about that was frustrating enough to get his blood boiling. Was disappointing the witch by refusing to resist like the other two the only way he could strike back at her?
Eldest of the 7 Sisters of Purgatory, Lucifer, arise.
Your favorite?
Lucifer of Pride, right here! Cannon, it would be far too cruel to force furniture to fight a witch. No matter how much Angus spurs you on, you would have no hope in a battle without a chance of success. Of course, such a battle would be boring for me as well. So, let it be furniture against furniture.
Oh, it's Pokemon battle.
Why not resolve it with a battle between you two? That should be enough to allow you some hope for victory, right? Forgive me, Beatrice Summer, but how could I be inferior to this good-for-nothing furniture? As if this cutie would have any chance against me. Prove that you can defeat my furniture, the 7 stakes of purgatory. If you manage to win through, let us see. I will let you select the 5 who will escape becoming one of the 13 sacrifices. I will welcome the 5 you recommend into the Golden Land without any conditions. How about that?
Cannon understood that he was being provoked. However, the witch's offer was very tempting. By this point, Cannon couldn't care less about this evil ceremony the witch and the rest were trying to carry out. On the contrary, it was much more important that he remain alive so that he could be invited to the Golden Land, and have his wish granted by Beatrice there.
You cried, saying you'd had enough of being furniture, right? I shall grant your desire. I shall give you that human body you wanted so much you cried yourself to sleep. What do you say? That way you and Jessica could be together, yes? Ooh, just perfect. You may recommend that Jessica and yourself be invited to the Golden Land. If you alone finding happiness isn't a satisfying solution for you, then you can add in Shannon and George, the one she loves. If you're worried about duty, then you can also add Genji. Oh, that's 5 people. Isn't that enough, Cannon? With this much of a reward? You won't let me get bored, will you? She's just playing with you. There's no need to listen to her. I don't like it. Are you okay with this, Nason?
Beatrice couldn't hide her evil smile at those words.
I don't like it. I wanted to be happy. I've had enough of being furniture. I want to become human and have a normal love. I want to know that the ocean is blue, like you.
How young. I'm jealous.
That's why I like the young ones. Genji, Shannon, stay back. Cannon, Lucifer, forward. As you command. I don't like it. The way you look down on me. As if Beatrice summer would be impossible, but with me at least you'd have a chance. I really don't like it.
That was probably humiliating for Lucifer. But at the same time, she was also happy that she was lucky enough to have this adorable prey all to herself.
Come, furniture of the witch. Don't think that you can look down on me forever.
Lightsabers?
This is going to kill my throat. Oh God. Ooh. So, Battler, isn't this a fun show?
Damn it! Another weird thing's happening. Like I'd ever believe in a magic battle.
Wait, is this the first time Battler's seeing a fight?
I'm pretty sure you saw the one in episode 2.
When Cannon was defending Jessica.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Look, don't turn your eyes away. Look at it. Look. It's magic. It's furniture. No matter how much you try to deny me in magic, look. If you've got all this happening right in front of you, it'd be a waste to miss it, don't you think? Look, just stop thinking. Magic exists. This is fantasy. Don't close your eyes. Look closely. Look.
Damn it! I won't accept witches. I won't accept magic. But if it's being done right in the open like that, what am I supposed to say? Damn it!
Come on now, don't turn away. Look closely, okay? Magic exists. This is fantasy, so stop playing detective. I know your secret. You actually don't really like to think things through, right? Then just stop. Look. It's gotta be fantasy.
Shut up! Don't talk to me! Where?
This guy's getting stubborn. Weren't you apologizing and crawl on the ground right now for being so conceited you thought you could beat me? If you did, I wouldn't mind forgiving you, okay? Then you wouldn't have to have your skin ripped off while you're still alive.
gone through like 3 voice changes.
I'll get lashed all over your body as you squirm until you die. You're a cutie, so apologize. If you do, I'll finish you off so gently while it still feels great. Be silent, furniture of the witch. I have no intention of speaking with you. So, you're saying you think nothing of me? That disrespectful gaze of yours is really ticking me off! Canon-kun. Isn't he stronger than he was against Satan?
This is why humans are so frightening. In fact, sometimes they even become witches and treat demons as butlers.
I feel like that's you're just laughing.
It is.
So, which should I cheer on? Are you saying this guy's on par with me? Don't look down on me.
No, that's Canon saying don't look down.
Don't look down on me. As long as you have that pride, you'll never defeat me. You speak of Lucifer, the eldest of the 7 sisters of purgatory, and say that I cannot win? How conceited!
Canon was desperately trying to stay alive, and he had a strong desire to become human. But Lucifer didn't feel anything stronger than a slight desire to play. So, that led to an inevitable result. It was a result that could be reached by the power of humans. The power of the heart.
That's as far as you go. You cannot win against me.
The glowing red curve extended straight out from Canon's arm, pointing at Lucifer's throat just beneath the tip of her chin.
I think you're a little off on the throat, Canon. What is this? How could I? There must be some mistake.
As she ground her teeth in irritation, she tried to deny the truth right before her eyes. But no matter how much she believed in her own superiority, it didn't change the facts, right in front of her.
Oh, well done, Canon. Wonderful you haven't bored me. How pitiful my furniture is compared to that.
Lucifer, you are boring, milady. Was this opponent really too much for you to handle?
I'm disappointed, eldest of the 7 stakes.
It would have seemed like mere rebuke to an outsider. However, Furniture Serving the Witch knew what kind of severe treatment was promised by that rebuke, and understood what had been left unsaid.
You good-for-nothing furniture!
She howled. Abandoning her last bit of pride, she made her body explode, exposing her true form. That form was a demon stake, which bounced off the walls surrounding the room.
Ooh. How could you shame me so much? Kill, 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 you blockhead! Such a random insult. Even though you can't even follow my movements anymore. I won't play around anymore. I'm seriously mad. I'll pierce your heart in one blow. I'll plow right through you, make a fountain of bright red blood reach the ceiling. Die! Canican. Whoa.
I'm pretty sure you've seen that happen before. The demon stake thing.
Yeah, I think so.
After flying about wildly for some time, with a speed approaching the limits of what a human eye could follow, Lucifer flew at Canon's heart. She could tell that it was Canon's blood by the sweet taste of it, but she quickly noticed one thing. She hadn't pierced his heart.
Oh?
This is why humans are frightening. Would you like some black tea?
I'm fine for now. This is so amusing, I don't even need any. Canon-kun.
That's canon.
You were arrogant again. I told you that you wouldn't be able to defeat me.
The floor was stained with dripping blood. It really was Cannon's blood, but it wasn't flowing out of his chest. Cannon had sacrificed his own left hand to protect his heart.
Oh, this is a new song. No?
I don't think so. Lucifer was arrogant. Even though she'd been given enough time to realize that this was an opponent capable of cornering her, in her pride, she had believed him to be worthless. She had gotten careless. So, just as she had announced, she had aimed for his chest, trying to pierce his heart. Because she was arrogant, she hadn't even thought of aiming somewhere other than the place she had announced. No, maybe she had thought about it a little. However, her pride would not allow her to aim for a different spot. After all, she was Lucifer of Pride. Cannon, withstanding the pain, grasped the demon stake, sticking deep into his left hand strongly with his right hand, and pulled it out. When she heard the sound of breaking bones and even more blood dripping down, Shannon looked away reflexively. There was an air hole in the back of the pierced hand so big you could clearly see through to the other side. Cannon's face was filled with pain, but right now he had won, without a doubt. The demon stake he was gripping with his right hand turned back into Lucifer again, so that Cannon was now gripping exactly where her neck was.
Go! It's my victory, Beatrice.
Cannon didn't hold back at all with her hand gripping Lucifer's throat. She had challenged him again after their fight had already been decided. Cannon had no obligation to be considerate. But even so, Cannon released the witch's furniture. Was it his naive humanism, his pity for another furniture, or a final bit of respect to the witch? In any case, when she was released, Lucifer fell face down on the ground, retching and moaning over the pain in her throat.
Spectacular, Cannon. Your great efforts have proven the correctness of some of Kinzo's research.
Ronave was clapping his hands. To Cannon, who had won at great cost and had a wound on his left hand that wouldn't close, Ronave's pause
It's missing an L, applause.
only felt like mockery.
All possibilities dwell within the human heart, was it? My, this is why humans are frightening. Well done, Cannon. You were victorious. Spectacular. I don't know who this is.
It's Cannon. And then this would be Shannon, probably.
Are you okay? Cannon-kun?
Shannon ran up to him and wrapped a handkerchief around his left hand, which was still spraying blood.
That was incredible, Cannon. Truly incredible. Even I was hoping at least a little for an upset. That you didn't let me down makes you truly splendid furniture. I think better of you now. I honestly think better of you. You haven't forgotten our promise, right, Beatrice? Indeed, of course I haven't forgotten. Witches and demons may be inhumane. However, we are much more noble than humans when it comes to keeping promises. I will not go back on my word. I guaranteed that if you won, I would give you the right to decide the 5 people who will escape becoming the 13 sacrifices. But Beatrice-sama! It's not like I've...
When Beatrice waved her pipe, heaven and earth turned over just for Lucifer. So, as a horribly natural result, she fell onto the ceiling. The ceiling doesn't seem that high to people standing on the floor. However, people who fall on it upside down and head first usually don't agree.
Milady, isn't that a little much?
Perhaps you are right. I suppose I'll forgive her.
Beatrice waved her pipe again. When she did, the magic that had been affecting Lucifer was released. So, as a horribly natural result, this time she fell properly back onto the floor. This reminds me of that scene with Gandalf spinning around from, what was the other wizard's name?
Saruman?
Saruman, yeah. Like breakdancing.
Oh, Beatrice-sama, forgive me! What are you so afraid of? I have already forgiven you, haven't I? So, Canon, shall we continue? Continue what? You aren't saying you want me to finish her, are you? No, it isn't over yet, right? What isn't? Stop dodging the question. I did promise to you your reward, didn't I? If you could defeat my furniture, the 7 stakes of purgatory, right? Oh, gosh. Come, arise, the 7 stakes of purgatory. The 6 younger sisters of the worthless older sister. Yeah! Oh, I don't know if I can do this.
The air split with shrill laughter. Oh dear. And as a golden splash scattered about, the remaining 6 sisters of Purgatory showed themselves. All the 7 sisters of Purgatory were here, after Canon was able to defeat one only by sacrificing his left arm. By now, Canon regretted his thoughtlessness in accepting the witch's challenge. He had been foolish to assume that a game against a witch would be on an even footing. Lame! One-sama, why are you crawling on the floor?
You people! I told you One-sama is useless. Even though she acts like she's so great just because she's the oldest, that's only on the outside.
Yeah, seriously. Lucifer, One-sama, your disgraceful behavior will damage the reputation of us all. Know your shame, you novice. Canon-kun, that was totally awesome. But don't get cocky, okay? Lucifer One-sama brags all the time, but she's no big deal compared to the rest of us sisters.
That's why I'm always saying Lucifer Nay shouldn't do anything. Just let her keep bragging all the time. After all, those of us with talent can handle all the tough jobs.
What are you gonna do, One-sama? Out of respect for your pride? We were planning to stay out of your way, in the hopes that you'd challenge him again in that beat-up body of yours. But Canon-kun sure is strong, right? Right now, no matter how much you struggle, there's no way you could win, right?
Yeah, you people! Yeah! My, you sisters are always so lively. Is this any time to fight amongst yourselves? It's only together that you're the 7 stakes of purgatory, correct? Now play nice and execute the tasks I give you. And swiftly, okay?
Hey, Lucifer One-sama, if you want to borrow the power of your little sisters, then say it, okay? We want to hear you ask us for help with your own mouth.
Do you plan to mock me even more?
I, the foolish, weak, ugly, and shameful Lucifer, the eldest sister, beg my younger sisters to save me. Come on, let's hear it. If you let us hear that, we'll save you. Okay? Everyone?
You...
The 7 sisters of Purgatory unanimously closed in on their worthless sister, abusing her. Even Canon, who had been fighting for his life until a second ago, couldn't bear to look at it.
As if I could say something like that! Quickly now. Clearly we won't make any progress here with you alone. Hurry up, let the 7 sisters strike Canon.
My, what is the matter, Lucifer? This is an order from Milady, is it not?
How cruel.
After grinding her teeth over and over after hearing her sister's curses, Lucifer trembled all over. and answered her sister's request.
I, the foolish, weak, ugly,
And shameful!
and shameful Lucifer, the elder sister, beg.
The girl known as Pride was finally unable to endure the words she was saying, and broke down crying. However, the 6 younger sisters kept giggling cold-heartedly. Wait a sec. Don't try to trick us by crying. You haven't finished saying it.
That should be enough. Come, sisters, let us display our power.
I won't be satisfied till I hear the whole thing, okay? Come on, One-sama, keep going.
That's enough.
Yeah.
I got taken aback by the music. Come on, this shame affects us all. We won't let them leave here alive.
Okay, how should we play with this pitiful furniture? Any wonderful plans? Yes. Biels thinks the 7 of us should get along and split Cannon up between us.
Good idea. That way all the sisters can get along. Then I'll take the head. I'll leave the limbs and guts to you all.
No. I get the head.
There's no way that a promise will mean anything, right? First one there wins.
Cannon-kun, if you've got any ideas for how we should kill you, just tell us, okay? The 7 sisters will kill you in an awesome way.
Damn! You shamed me so deeply! Slicing you into 8 pieces won't be enough. I'll slice you into 100 pieces. Here we go, everyone!
Yes, One-sama. The 7 of them burst at once. They had no intention of playing or boasting. This time, they would genuinely follow their master's order. Take Cannon down, swiftly. The 7 sisters jumped around the room faster than the eye could see, examining how they could best kill Cannon. They tortured Cannon with their cruel giggles, sometimes making a close pass at him. They kept scraping his arms, shoulders and cheeks, gradually carving red letters into his body. At that moment, Shannon dashed up behind him, holding onto him so that she blocked the way to his body at least a little.
That's right, the power of Shannon.
At the same time, a red cylinder wrapped around the 2 of them like a beam of light sent from heaven. That cylinder repelled the evil ones who tormented Cannon. What? You're mean! This has nothing to do with you!
Ah, I see. You must want to play with us. Yeah! Then I'll take it. Oh, mine. Beatrice-sama! Can we take Shannon as our prey? I don't mind. Do as you like. It seems Cannon alone won't be enough to satisfy your gluttony. You have our deepest gratitude. Come on, I'll make you regret coming out uninvited.
I'll turn you into scraps of meat so unrecognizable you won't be able to tell which is which. Mix you, and mince you into hamburgers.
Idiot! Breaking that barrier should come first, right? Don't let your gluttony get in the way of your job.
Yes,
One-sama.
As a horribly natural first action, the 7 sisters began to destroy the barrier Shannon had created. Shannon's barrier certainly was strong. It was powerful enough to impress even Beatrice. With its strength, frail furniture would turn to dust just by touching it. And it was firm, like a tree with deep roots. But no matter how big a tree gets, it will eventually surrender to a saw or an axe. For the Seven Sisters, chopping down Shannon's barrier would be annoying, but not impossible. A sound like beetles jumping about grew even fiercer and filled the room. The red barrier began to be cut up and eroded away as though with an axe, a saw, no, a chainsaw by now.
Oh, Shannon.
How foolish. Even though you must know that your barrier can't fully protect you from these girls. Why?
Because I couldn't overlook it.
As Shannon covered Cannon, who was already at his limit, sprawled on the floor, she spoke back resolutely.
If you hadn't barged in uninvited, I would have given you a death-like sleep. Why have you gone to all the trouble of exposing yourself before the Seven Sisters? Not all deaths are the same. A cruel death will cause you far more anguish than merely dying. Yeah. Go ahead, do as you like. Just as you always do what you want. I did what I wanted. At any rate, you're not quite amusing at the present moment. Romance is most interesting when you're wondering whether it will succeed or not. Once it does succeed, a woman is like salmon who has finished laying its eggs. I have already tired of you. Thank you. No words from a witch would make me happier. Then, at least in the end, let me see you die in a truly entertaining manner.
That was like a ripperoo laugh then.
I'm trying to do the laugh according to the text. Seven Sisters, can you hear me? Kill Shannon in a way that shows me the limits of brutality.
Shannon.
My apologies. In the end, I wasn't able to reach your level, Genji-sama. You're an idiot, Nason. If you'd just let me be, then you might not have to meet a horrible end. I'm not gonna say thank you for saving my life, but just that you're an idiot. No, it's fine. I received a ring from George-sama and lived as a woman. For one day, I have protected you and lived as a sister. With this, my life is complete, with no regrets.
Shut up, furniture.
No, you're pissing me off. That philosophical take really is irritating. Like I said, your furniture, you don't even smell like a human. Look at me, I am a human. Don't spout off philosophical crap like you're more complete than I am, you furniture. She just admitted to being human. She's supposed to be a witch. She's outed herself.
It wasn't in red though.
How ugly. Wait, is this Beatrice or Shannon?
This is Shannon.
Shannon. How ugly are those regrets? What you truly are? They aren't a regret. This is called living. What's this about not minding if you die just because you were given a ring? I can't understand it. It's incomprehensible, disappointing, outrageous, stunning, and it's all useless.
Milady, perhaps you're acting a tad undignified.
Shut up, furniture.
She said it. She said the line.
Shannon, do you think I'll let you die so easily? Now's the time to bite your tongue. How pitiful. If you can see yourself reflected in my eyes, then shudder at your own ugliness. Fear not. Once I have crushed you up, you'll be much more ugly even while you're still alive.
At that time, Genji softly entered the red barrier. Perhaps that barrier didn't block those without ill intent. Then, Genji gently held her from behind and covered her eyes with his right hand.
Genji-sama.
You've already done enough. Go to sleep before me.
Yes. Thank you very much, Genji-sama.
Indeed. After that, Genji softly pressed his left hand near her collarbone. As he did, emanating from that area, a crimson stain gently spread out.
Did he kill her with his fingers?
He entered the barrier without ill intent.
Yeah.
When Genji removed his hand, bright red blood oozed out of there. Oh, fresh blood. I said flesh blood. It only happened for the first instant, and it was shaped like a crimson rose.
So he killed her with a rose.
No, the blood was like a rose. And when he removed his right hand covering her face, there was a peaceful expression there, as though she was sleeping. Then she fell softly, silently, and slept. Her soul had already been sent to a world where the malicious witch and her furniture could not reach her, no matter how evilly they tortured her. This scene left Beatrice and even the seven sisters stunned. Only Ronave wore a mysterious smile. Then Genji leaned over Kanon, who was crouching on the floor. "You did well. You should sleep now too."
Yes. Thank you very much, Genji-sama.
Just as he had done with Shannon, he softly covered Kanon's eyes with his hand, then gently pressed the area around Kanon's collarbone with his other hand. And when his hand was removed with the lightness of a feather, there was a crimson rose there. But that rose shape quickly turned into the stain of bright red blood pouring out.
What is that? What a boring person. Even though it's so fun to poke the balloon of life with a needle so that it forcefully explodes.
Spectacular, Genji. You truly are furniture.
Thank you very much. Well then, Beatrice-sama, Ronave-sama, with this as my final task, allow me to rest.
It's like, I'm out. Tch. Damn you, snatching away my fun. Why don't I take all the thrashing and mashing I wanted to do to them, and give it to you instead?
Beatrice faced him with an unsatisfied expression, but Ronave spoke quietly to Genji with a soothing smile.
You have worked hard. You are my greatest servant.
What?
As a final gift, I shall bestow upon you a peaceful sleep, fitting for all the labors you have performed.
What? Wait, it's not your place to...
When Ronave snapped his fingers, Genji slumped to the floor like a puppet with its strings cut. Suddenly and yet gently, he crumpled, falling into a sleep that no witch could call him back from. It was as filled with kindness as the sleep he had given Shannon and Kanon.
So Genji was working for Ronave. Well, you can't answer that. This is my question. Who's working for who here? What was that, Ronave? What a boring anticlimax.
Are you not a mighty great witch, milady? What happened here is hardly worthy of your concern. It isn't like you to let the provocation of someone like Shannon get to you.
What was it that had Beatrice so irritated? Was she still unable to remove the thorn of Shannon's words? Ronave laughed lightly as though lamenting the complexity of humanity and a woman's heart, and ordered the seven sisters to go. After all, there were still 2 sacrifices left for the first twilight. The seven sisters disappeared in ecstasy. Everything there...
Happened in 20 minutes.
Were we at... Oh yeah.
We
I can't maths.
We started at midnight.
I thought that said 5, not 4. Well then.
It did say 5. So there's this... Wait, so... Maybe listen back.
Did it?
No, I was gonna count the people who had died, because it's 5, or is it 6?
It's 6 for the first Twilight. So we've had Kinzo.
No, yeah. So Kinzo was the 6, but then there's 5 servants. So we've only had 3 servants get killed so far.
Yeah.
So then it's the other Goto and Kumasawa.
So Kinzo, Shannon Cannon, Genji. Yeah, that's 6.
Kumasawa. Not Kumasawa.
Too bad.
Does Dr. Naruto count as a servant?
He's the doctor. He's not a servant.
So he's not considered furniture?
He's a guest.
Okay.
And the 19th person.
Wait, he's the 19th person?
No,
But
just
who
kidding.
is
I'm
working?
kidding.
Who is working for who? Because it made it seem like Genji was working for Ronabe. Well, Ronabe made it seem like that.
I think it's just implying that they have a history together.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're the counterparts for each other. But
Like,
if they are, then who are the 7 stakes in terms of
what do you mean?
Kinzo's?
What do you mean by like counterpart?
Well, Ronabe is the head and Genji is also the head, but they're both working
Oh,
for
yeah, yeah,
different sides.
Yeah, I guess so.
So they're kind of like the chess pieces in
Yeah,
their
so it'd be
chess
like
game.
Kinzo's pieces and
Yeah.
Beatrice's pieces. Yeah.
But I feel like Beatrice's team are sort of more aware.
Because they're magical demons. And
Well, no, but like Genji seemed like he fully like understood everything, but then the others, like Canon, had not really any clue.
Canon. Well, Cannon's the younger of this. Like between Shannon, like Shannon's like 18, 19, I think.
So
think
it's
she just-
like 2 years different.
Yeah, something like that. So he's been there for less time. Shannon knows a bit more, but she doesn't. It doesn't seem like she knows everything. Because like when you saw that scene, she was more accepting of like what's going on and
Yeah.
stuff. But Cannon was just like having none of it.
I will work on my Canon voice.
You need to work on your Lucifer.
I think I went Muppet this round. Did you think I
I don't
felt
know
like
what
a
was
little
going
bit
on.
Sesame Street? Oh my goodness.
I think doing the stakes, maybe, because before we said we would like switch, so like when one appears, like say you start, then I'll do the next one, and then we'll just keep
Well,
doing
I
that.
had the eldest as something completely different to the others, so I figured we'll just keep going with her personality. It is also really late too, so I think I just went for it.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Unless
I
you think
guess.
someone else is more fitting for the Muppet voice. The seagulls.
Just wait till the seagull comes
When
in.
they cry.
The key to it all.